Hello, today we will look at Fusion 360. It's an Autodesk computer-aided design product, similar to Tinkercad and SketchUp, but much more powerful, much more powerful. Tinkercad and SketchUp can be used through just Google Chrome. Fusion 360 has to be installed onto your computer. We have it installed on the DT computers at school, but you have to sign in with an email address as normal. Your school email address is best. When it launches, you can see that we have a gridded area. If I hold Shift and click and hold the middle mouse button, again, Orbit tool, and I can move this around and look at it from different directions. I can zoom in and out with the mouse tool. If I ever get lost and I'm not sure what I'm looking at, if I come up to the view commands up here, I can press the home button and it will zoom out to the work plane in a normal isometric view. So we're going to do the same as we did in the previous videos. We're going to make a mug, but just a standard mug using Autodesk Fusion 360. So first thing I need to do is create a sketch. I'm going to choose the horizontal plane. It revolves around to a 2D view. I'm going to select circle. From the center, I'm going to go out to 80 millimeters. That sounds about right. And then I will click Finish Sketch. It then returns to a isometric view, and we can think about creating some material here. At the minute, think of this as a drawing on a piece of paper. It doesn't really exist at the moment. So I'm going to create some material using the Extrude Tool. This is very similar to the Push-Pull tool on SketchUp. Autodesk Fusion, very user-friendly. It has this big blue arrow, and that helps us to realize that when we click and hold that and pull it up, we're going to make some material. There it is. Press OK, and I have my body of the mug there. Now the next thing to do is to create the hole at the top. Autodesk Fusion has a tool for that. It's called the Hole tool, surprisingly. There we go. There's the Hole tool. Select it. I'm now going to select the top of the mug. I'm going to click in there. I'm just going to check that that's in the center, and it's not. So I'm going to move it from the middle over to there. That is now in the center. I'm also going to change the drill point to flat. I'm going to spin that round now. I'm going to bring it down to about 70 millimeters. Perfect. And then I'm going to spin it around a little bit more. Use this slider to bring it out, and we'll go to, I think it might, yeah, it won't like to go there, so we'll leave it at 60 millimeters like that. Quite a chunky mug this is going to be. When that's all done, we press OK, and we are left with our basic mug shape. Now, at the moment, this is looking very similar to SketchUp or Tinkercad. So let's do something a little bit more sophisticated. We're going to use the Fillet Tool here, and this will round the corners of the model quickly and easily. So I'm going to select this face, and with this arrow, and pull this in nice and gently. I'm going to go 5 millimeters, and that will round the top of the mug like that. So now this looks rounded. I'll do the same on the base here. Bring that in 5 millimeters, 2.5 millimeters. Okay, press OK, and now we have a rounded mug. Now that's something which in Tinkercad is very difficult to achieve, and in SketchUp is quite difficult to achieve. In Fusion 360, it was a few clicks, and it was finished. Okay, now we want to create the handle of the mug. So we're going to go to Create Sketch again. This time we're going to go to a vertical plane. So this brings this round here. We're going to use we'll go Create, and we'll go Arc, and we'll go 3-point arc. Then on the side of the mug, let's go two grid dots down from there, and then to there. Then we will pull this out to, let's go there. Click Finish Sketch, and I've now got, if I spin that round, a very thin line projecting out from the side of the mug. Clearly that's not going to be good enough to actually look like the handle. So we're going to need to sort of make this look 3D, make it have some volume. So what I'll do now is go to create, and I'm going to go to pipe. And as you can see, this says create a solid pipe that follows a selected path. So the path is the blue line we've just drawn. So we go pipe, circular new body. Yes, that's all correct. I click this. It comes out as quite a thin one to begin with, so I'm going to bring that out. Let's go to 10 millimeters. Press OK. Have a look at that. Spin that around. That all looks good. So this looks like a very, very, very thick and chunky steel mug at the minute. Maybe we could say it's a thermally insulated mug. But there we go. That's the model finished. Nice and easy, nice and quick. Now that's one of the first thing. That's the basics of Autodesk Fusion 360. What we can do now is we can go from the design phase here. We can go to the render phase. So this is where Fusion 360 is massively better than SketchUp or Tinkercad. Rendering means to make something look realistic. So here's the mug, and they've applied this look to it in a minute. I'm going to leave it as a stainless steel mug, so it's going to be nice and shiny. Currently, at the minute, it looks reasonable. It's got all these beautiful highlights and lowlights on the handle. But when we press this in canvas render button, my computer will whir away. It will power up, and you'll see over here there is a progress bar as the model is turned into a photorealistic image. Your computer sort of will strain at this point. The processor will power up because it's using an awful lot of memory to do this. But you can see that we're starting to get things like shadows and reflections in there now. Nearly done, nearly done, nearly done. There we go. So this has got to excellent standard. I could push it a little bit further and go to final standard, but that's absolutely fine as it is. So this really is true 3D modeling. I now have a almost photorealistic 3D model. One of the things you have to realize about this is if you move it, it has to re-render. Okay, so it'll take another 20 seconds or so to work itself out. At this point, what we do in school is we tend to basically take screenshots and apply those to something like PowerPoint Online, just to save your visual model. In industry, in engineering companies, etc., they will take these models on and test them and see how they will actually operate. But that is Fusion 360. Saving and everything is done up here. As you can see, my term has expired, so I'm using my private login. But there we go. I will capture an image and I will go OK. You can rename it and you can save it either in the cloud or to your computer. So I'll call this mug. There we go. And that has saved an image. That's Autodesk Fusion 360. Don't forget, it has to be installed on a computer. If your computer is not particularly powerful, you may struggle. So in that case, you'll have to wait until you are able to get to the DT computers at school. Okay, I believe I have to go back to here now to stop the recording. Thank you very much.